Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, The Burnt Hands Perspective.
This podcast contains explicit and potentially offensive material. You've been warned. Now buckle up, bitches. Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by Pale Horse Coffee, powered and fueled from a veteran-owned company right here in Hampton Roads, Virginia, fueling the community.
And we want to take time to thank them for sponsoring the podcast and being a part of our restaurant community and always taking care of us as we would take care of them. So check them out next time you're in Summit Point or in Chesapeake.
Here we are.
Here we
now,
are.
It's us. I say it every time. I need a new catch line.
It's okay. We'll go with that catch line. It's fine.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm ready. I think we haven't done one of these where it's just us shooting the shit about stuff in a while.
It's been a while. So I'm going to say mi sento favoloso, which means I'm feeling fabulous.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling fabulous.
Okay, that's me feeling good right now. So anyhow, today, we're talking to ourselves. You know, we talk to people all the time. And what we do a lot of times when we do that is we forget, or I forget rather, that I have a lot to say myself. So we usually focus on other people's opinions and thoughts, which is amazing. It's great. And that's why we do this, right? Because we talk to people all day long. Why not get it on camera? Some of the conversations we have with people when we're not on camera, and that just goes for everybody, you know? Yeah. As people, we have conversations with people that should be recorded. I mean, you hear it all the time. Like, imagine if we had this on film. That's kind of what we do. But we never talk about ourselves or our own feelings sometimes because we're trying to capitalize in another type of conversation, right? So I have a lot of things I like to say about the restaurant industry and the chef industry. And I don't really get a chance to say them either because I'm typically doing it. So,
well, we're going to take that opportunity today, and we're going to kind of go back to, I guess, what the grassroots were when Burnt Hands started, of giving opinion and kind of how the industry is developing. And I know there's one topic we've talked about a couple times that you want to touch on is kind of sustainability in the industry for outside businesses like the microgreen farmers and the people who are bringing things in.
Sure.
And what you've seen as a chef with the cost, the longevity of those businesses, and the issues it causes for you. So a lot of topics I think we can go over today.
I call them, or what they call themselves, maybe rightfully so, maybe not, artisans, right?
Like artisan vendors, is that what you would say?
Artisan vendors, yeah, I guess you could say micro vendors or something, you know, not to be confused for microgreens or microbreweries. They're just micro vendors,
like
where they're small, local,
okay.
right? And, you know, if they were back in the ye old time of blacksmiths and what do you call that era, Renaissance time, they would have their own little ye old microgreen shop, and that would be that.
And that would be only the people around them get it. And,
correct, right.
Okay.
It'd be their little village.
Okay.
Village. So that's what I'm talking about. So what happens here is that as chefs, right, we grow and we continue to grow as we age. Typically, we start young. We all have the same ideologies of grandeur and hate and discontent and all that bullshit. The party, we already know about all that. Yeah. But as we grow, our demands grow, right? And the more serious we become, the more serious the people with us need to come with us, right? So what happens is we have this huge influx of these small pop-up type of industries, microgreen people, farmers, people who make sauces, the hot sauce industry, the dry age meats now is a huge thing, wet aging, vegan, right? We got the vegan stuff.
A lot of vegan bakers.
A lot of vegan bakers and the gluten-free stuff. We have a lot of gluten-free stuff. Not bashing any of these by any means. This is a clear conversation, right? But what people need to understand when they get involved with it, how they're fucking up my life and other chefs' life, is how this happens. And that's what people need to understand before they jump into this stuff. The restaurant industry is grueling. It's bullshit. It's a long story, man. It's not a quick chapter. It's a long fucking story. And what I recommend to most people is get into the story before you get into the chapter, right? Your chapter, I'm going to use microgreens as an example.
Yeah, you dealt with a lot of...
Not picking them out, but they are
turnover.
one of the biggest turnovers that we do have. You're right, perfect word, turnover. So what happens is this. Somebody's excited, they start growing something. They have a horticulture, or they want to grow things, and they end up growing it. Microgreens grow quite rapidly. They grow quick. So you have a quick...
like a return on it?
Not so much a return, but what is it when you're happy? God damn, I can't even think right now. You appreciate the...
You're getting a dopamine hit off?
Whatever, man. Whatever. Let's move on.
Legal greens.
Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. You get an instant reaction from it, okay? You feel good about it. It's good gratification. There it is. So you get a gratification of it grows. Now you give a couple of those to your friends. They all get it because now it's growing. Now you got to do something with it. They try it. They love it. They tend to tell you, you need to grow more.
Yeah.
So you grow more. Next thing you know, a friend introduces you to a chef down the street. Chef loves it. His microgreen guy is all the way halfway out. So yeah, let me get a couple of these. Then you start growing. Now you start growing everything. Then you go out to Amazon, you build yourself a little greenhouse or Wayfair or whatever. You get yourself your greenhouse, and then you start producing more and more and more, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now you bring those to the restaurant. Everybody's happy. Now you start making different things, the amaranth, the red vein sorrel, all the hits, the micro basil, the cilantro, all these little things, the baby arugulas, all the things that are popular and gaining traction every time.
Okay.
So first thing you do, you start bringing it. Now you're excited about it. There's the mistake right there. You started.
Well, you started, but I think you need to elaborate because this is kind of like, this episode is kind of a warning for people who want to get into it too. Because it's like,
that's what I'm
get
talking
into
about.
it, know these things.
Right.
So this
Know
is what
these
you need
things.
to know.
You need to know how a restaurant operates when it comes to demand and consistency and being persistent. You need a routine. You need to understand the routine, and you need to understand it is so demanding that you're not going to get a break. Because true chefs and restaurateurs do not get a break. We don't take breaks. The only break we take is at the end of the shift or whatever it may be. But we know everything is ready and in line for tomorrow.
Yeah. Holidays are out. Weekends, you're working, it's 7 days a week.
So what happens, like I said, they get into this growing thing, they get going. Next thing you know, they start bringing the product and they're happy about it. They tell all their friends, they get their cards, right? We get the story. Yeah. 6 months into it, though, what happens is, well, it's not so fun anymore. Now you need to bring it.
It's an actual business.
Now the chefs are demanding it.
Yeah.
Now it's like, where the hell is my microgreens? It's Tuesday. Yeah, but I want to go to the beach. It's the first nice day of the spring. Well, I don't give a shit. I need my damn microgreens now. Yeah. Well, you wanted to go on vacation last week, so you never planned a growing regimen while you were away. So half your plants died, none of them grew. You didn't seed. You figured you'd do it when you get back. But we all know micro basil takes 6 weeks or 5 weeks or whatever to grow. So you didn't put that into place. Now you put everybody on hold. See, now you want to stop doing it because it's easier to just back out now because now you're getting a little bit of harsh talk to. You're getting messages saying, where's my shit? It becomes stressful now. So the joy of it is gone. So what you took as a hobby and tried to turn around and make money, you realize it probably wasn't as lucrative as you thought. Right? You're probably just paying off your money, your greens and everything, because you really haven't put a business plan in place yet. And you were just hoping it was going to go on. And it started getting worse, almost like a bad relationship. It started getting worse before you admitted it. And then it piled up and you got jammed in it. So that's what you need to do is understand that before you get into that, you need to know what you're doing. Dry agers, same thing. Hot sauce people, same thing. Gluten-free desserts, bakery, pastries, even a lot of artisan bakers now that have nothing to do with other than just making a nice sourdough, right? They have their biga or their starter, it's a good thing, and they create this world. And they don't understand that it's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse.
It's going to grow, and people are relying on you to produce a consistent product for them to run their business. So
always.
they're putting you in jeopardy every time they say this or they bow out and decide it's too hard.
Sure.
I think pandemic-wise, in general, a lot of people started hobbies that turned into businesses. So, you call it what did somebody call it once? A jobby. So it's like a job and a hobby.
Yeah, well,
so
perfect.
it's really not a business. You don't know what you're doing. You have zero business acumen. So what makes you think you can run this when it grows to having 10 accounts and having to deliver every other day?
Do you know how hard it is to bake bread, period? I don't like baking bread because of the regimen it creates. It creates such a system. Right. Well, it creates such a system in a restaurant to where your restaurant portion of where you do your baking ends up becoming a fucking bakery.
It's just a bakery.
And then if your baker's sick or if you don't want to do it, now you have to do it. It becomes a consistent drama. Now, the work ethic behind it, it's not a lot of physical. It is physical labor. It is manual.
Yeah.
But it's not as manual as, say, some other things, landscaping, cutting wood, things of that nature, right? But it's demanding every single day of the fucking week, and people aren't doing it. So what does that mean? We have a hard time finding breads. I'm opening up my new market in Delhi, and I'm looking for a great bed of bread.
You've been hunting already.
I'm already through almost 25, 30 samples of different bakers. because it's all mass produced now. The product's all the same. It's all getting redundant.
Nothing artisan.
You know, there's nothing artisan about it, right? It's bullshit is what it is. You're getting a lot of the Philly cheesesteak style of soft bread. I'm looking for that crusty,
You're
nice
looking for
artisanal.
like a rustic
Yes,
Italian,
a rustic sourdough or a rustic Tuscan style of boulé or something like that. So it's hard to get that because nobody wants to do it anymore. So they're afraid of the consistent work, I think. I think that's what happens. So that's what I think is happening and what's going wrong with the restaurant industry right now is that level of commitment that people don't understand what they're getting into. And this goes all the way to chef school, man. Kids are getting involved in chef school right now.
True.
But the chef school's forgetting to tell them about the other stuff because the chef school, now that that's a competition, before back in the day, there was only 3 or 4 good ones that were reputable and you went to them and that was it. They taught you the brigade systems. Now, they're not teaching you the glory. I mean, the non-glory. They're not teaching you the abuse that goes on mentally in the kitchen. They're not teaching you about the hours.
They become so PC about it. They're trying to teach you what a kitchen should be, not what a kitchen is.
Correct. And they want to sell the dream. Yeah. So they're going to teach you the dream and you purchase the dream. So you go back to school, your friends go to school. And half the school is friggin' internship or externship anyway. And you're in someone's restaurant anyhow. So you're paying them to be somewhere else. It's a fucking joke, kind of. Yeah. You know, going to school is not a joke. Going to chef school is not a joke. But how they turned it around to make it so it doesn't, you know, I guess the point of this fucking talk right now is...
Work.
Consistency. It's nothing's going to come to you for free. You have to understand that. And
as a chef, like when you're looking at these small companies who, again, turned a hobby or a green thumb or some type of talent into a business and it's not quite a business, like what advice do you have for the people that, like, is it worth sticking with it? Like you can grow this into a 6-figure, 7-figure business if you really wanted to.
Like anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And have you seen that? Like, I mean, is there any that have really made it past like year 1 or 2 or like what's it usually look like?
Let me back up. Back that ass up.
Back that ass up.
So as I back this ass up right here, I'm going to tell you this. I've only seen the ones that you see now. If you go to a huge, like Keeney dry aging out of Boston, or you get these big, your Pat LaFrieda, who makes dry age a thing. So they took it and ran with it.
Okay.
To the point where now they're doing it for millions of people and they're doing millions of pounds of cattle.
They scaled.
They have cattle farmers. You know, they scaled, right? For the most part, though, to answer that question, no. Yeah. No. I've never seen a microgreen guy make it. I've never seen a big local vegan baker go to the next level. I've never seen it. I always see them shut down in a year or 2 because it became too much. Or they're just tired. That's the big thing. I'm just tired. I'm worn out. Motherfucker, I'm worn out.
Well, I think...
I'm worn out from this shit every day. These excuses. I'm worn out. You know what I mean? It's... God damn, man. Of course we're worn out.
We're all... I mean, you get tired, and it's a relentless schedule, and it's a, like, unforgiving schedule most of the time, and it doesn't make any difference for the people who support the industry. But I think that, in general, smaller businesses need to realize that just having... You know, we've talked about this with branding and marketing in general. Like, just having an Instagram or a website does not make you a business. And unless you start putting systems in place. So from, like, my side of, like, building brands and seeing how they start to fail, if they don't have systems, like, for processing invoices, contracts, you know, daily systems, have the website, have the complete funnel in place, then they will fail. So I think for people who are starting out, some advice for them would be to start, you know, building your system of how you want the business to be, not how it is at the moment.
Sure. And with that, exactly what you're saying. So people fall in love with the craft before they fall in love with business.
Yeah. Well, nobody loves doing admin shit and sitting online.
No.
Like, nobody loves
but
that.
You have to.
Nobody.
But when it becomes when your craft becomes the vehicle for business, you have to learn how to love business. Yeah. Because if you don't, you're only going to love your craft and the business is always going to wash it out, or vice versa. Some people get into business because they love business and they open up a restaurant and don't know shit about the craft. So same thing goes that way. If you're going to open up a restaurant because you love the business end of it, which happens all the time, you know, you got a lot of people financially who want to turn to the restaurant business to funnel money or to do what they want to do. And they don't really understand or really appreciate or love the craft. From what we're talking about, though, we're talking about the craftsman. You need to have some sort of understanding. You don't have to fall in love with business, but you have to understand business.
You have to understand at least some of it.
You have to understand the restaurant business, not only business of what you're doing to maintain, but you have to understand the restaurant business.
Or the nuances of what you're going to, what the expectations are, what you have to deal with, the deliverables. I mean, yeah. And I'm not saying you're demanding, but you do have very high standards.
Well, I am demanding. But I expect and I demand that people who come to me should already know where they're coming.
Yeah.
So I don't really demand you go find this. I feel you should have already had it before you came through my door.
Yeah, you should know.
So, there's chefs out there way more demanding than me, man. It just depends on who you are. I say this. If you want to do microgreens, let's keep using that as a thing. Sorry, microgreen guys.
Yeah,
ladies,
we love you. You do a great job.
It's just a good example. If you really want to get into that field, per se, or any field, come to the restaurant, ask the chef if you can sit back and stage or sit there and watch a shift or two in the kitchen from the beginning to the end. Learn what they're doing back there with your product. Watch how they're in a hurry going to cut your product. Watch what they're doing.
How they're using it.
So you understand their determination and why there's so much haste involved in their requests, because everything they're doing is hasty. Everything we do is in the moment.
Everything's on the fly.
So when we're out of the kitchen, where am I? I'm on the fly always.
Always.
So I want my coffee. I want it now. I need it now because I want it right now. And if I don't get it now, I may not get it because a fucking ticket might come in, even though I'm not even at work. But mentally, a ticket's going to come in and I need to do it now. You know what I mean? It's just how we're programmed for 30 years. You got to figure 10 hours a day of my life has been now. I need it now. I need to eat now. I need to rest now. I need to sit down now. I got to take a shit right now. You know what I mean?
It's all right now.
It's all right now.
I think there's a lot of things, though, like when you, as a chef owner, I know this is harder, but no one is ever going to work as hard as you and no one's going to put as much effort in as you. No. So I think that's hard when you're dealing with smaller businesses because you expect them to be the same way.
Yes.
And it's like almost like Bahama time. Like the service is going to be slower when you go to certain areas of the world. Like they just don't have that sense of urgency we do here. So I think it's kind of, it's a U.S. thing. And all kitchens are busy, but some are a little bit slower and they kind of have that mentality. So they're never going to be you. They're never going to keep up to that pace. But understanding
shouldn't they though? Shouldn't they? Like you said, shouldn't they?
I like money. I like making money.
I like success.
So I don't know why you would build a business that's actually formidable and is making you, a decent return.
Right.
I mean, as long as your profit margins are good and you're enjoying it, it's a good business. So to just let it fall, I don't understand how people nowadays are paying their bills because they just don't work.
That's what I want to know.
I would love to know how. I mean, is it all OnlyFans? Like, is everybody on there?
I don't know, man. I'm saying we got people raising their hand back here.
So it's okay.
Only pans.
So
it's.
Oh, we're doing that now.
Yeah, we're going only pans.
We're doing only pans.
Out there.
It's gonna be like sexy pan photos. Oh my gosh, can we do that?
You got the.
Just holding it like two of them over your.
Over my tits. Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Random ideas.
I got like a gravy boat down here over my junk.
Oh my god.
So, it's.
Back on topic.
Yeah, it's all fun. I mean, this is the stuff we're talking about.
You want to make money. So if you're starting these businesses and you have you're good at it and you're good at growing or you're good at mixing or your flavors or you're a great baker, I mean, it's going to be hard. Like you have to understand, you have to work every fucking day. Like it's not going to be the
can
same.
I do it tomorrow? People that are always going to bother me.
Yeah.
Can I get it done tomorrow? Or how about this? Hey, you shorted me a tray of this, or I didn't get. I'm 2 loaves short.
Yeah.
Can you make it till tomorrow? Sure, I would have called you fucking tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I need it now. I want it now because I paid you already today.
I paid you for it.
You know what I mean? So if you don't get in your damn car and drive over here, you're not looking to secure my trust in you. Your integrity is shook, man. You know what I mean? And you got no time for halfway crooks here.
Most people don't make. I mean, most businesses. I don't know if you know the average number of restaurants, like how long they'll stay open before they fail.
3 years is typically the go time. 5 years is success.
Okay.
2 years, people, it depends on who you're talking to. 2 years financially, if you can get past the first 2 years financially and get yourself somewhat out of the red and almost borderline black, you're doing all right.
Yeah.
You go into the 3rd year, you should be coming out of it. By your 4th year, you should start seeing a little bit of a percentage up.
Okay.
And then by your 5th year, you should be turning profit, and then you're on your way.
Okay.
Typically, that's kind of a good little baseline to go on. And we're talking about I'm not talking about a $20,000 pop-up hot dog stand.
No.
I'm talking about a $1 million operation.
But I mean, I wanted to kind of compare that because like when we see businesses fail, it's typically as entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, it's usually they get through the first year. Some get through the second year, but if they can make it to year 4 or 5 is when all the magic happens. The returns are there, everything's there, but they just don't. Everybody is in that mentality, and we talked about this on the episode with Thick Eats too, that people during COVID all of a sudden went to, I can create a business online and make 6 figures in a month. So in 30 days, I can make $100,000 if I do a course or I do whatever. They want that. They think that the money is that easy.
They want instant money right now.
And there's no trade work. So the trades have gone down. We know that. But the trades pay insanely well.
Sure.
And that's any industry. So I think if your business lasts over that, like, 3-year mark, I think that's just not restaurants.
And that has to do with your commitment to your own interest. Yep. People lose interest, and that's why it starts to fail. They forget to watch the books. They'd rather go spend money, whatever it may be, or they're just no longer have the passion anymore because what they thought was love was only lust. You know what I'm saying? Put it in a little bit, you got the tip in, and realize this ain't for me. You know what I mean?
You got teased.
You got teased a little bit, and then you got pulled out.
With some action. You thought it was good. You were getting some,
right.
And then all of a sudden,
pull out,
went
roll.
dry.
That's right.
Like unintended.
Yeah, daddy's home. You know what I mean? So
it's so bad.
So that's what happens is that a lot of people don't stick with it because they don't stay in love with what they're doing, and it becomes a job. And the people like I was talking about before, I want things now. What I don't want and don't understand, what I understand won't come right now is the money. Yeah. What I want is everything that's going to help me get the money later. I need that right now because if I don't get that, it's not going to build. Other people who don't understand that want the money now and bypass everything else.
And that's the failure.
That's the failure. And here's a tip for everybody, okay? There is no skipping that fucking process ever. You will not get by. You will not skip the process of being successful. You're not just going to do it. No one's going to make you successful. No one's going to come to take your hand and hand their success off to you. No one's going to give them their cape and say, here's mine now. You can keep my success and I'm going to go hide out in the woods. No one's going to do that. People will guide you and mentor you. People will bring you to the light. It's up to you to go the rest of the way. Yep. Once you get there, you have to maintain your own. So you're not going to skip it. You're not skipping the work. You're not skipping the ethic. You're not skipping the commitment. You're not skipping the commitment to other people. There's no way around it. So that's my biggest take out of all this is if you're going to think you're going to have some small pop-up thing and service the restaurant or the food hospitality industry, you need to realize that you have to do it all on your own. You're going to be there and accessible as long as you are, and then we are going to move on because we don't have a choice. So
don't be mad at the restaurant or the chef because they don't want to use you because you're inconsistent.
Right.
Don't stop placing blame and playing the victim card when you are a business that delivers.
Perfect. Exactly. If you think you're delivered, get your deliverables to my fucking door. If not, get the hell out of here. It's that easy because we don't have time to, my car broke down. My antifreeze leaked all over the driveway. My cat drank it and shit his brains out outside and died. I'm sorry about your cat. That's horrible. However, my microgreens aren't here. So what's that mean?
I just care about my microgreens.
What does all that mean? So if this is the third time in a row that this happened, how many cats do you have? You know what I mean? So
the cat has 9 lives.
Yeah, 9 lives, fucking cat. 15 cats.
That's the same cat.
They're all in their 9th.
They're all almost dead. Yeah. So I mean, in closing, I think that the biggest takeaway for anybody who wants to start any kind of support business or anything that's pushed into a restaurant as a product, do your work, make a business plan, actually set what you're going to do up for the next 5 years, make a 5-year plan, make a 10-year plan, and then know those first 1 to 2 years, you may not make any money. So you better keep your actual job because you're not going to just go right into this business and make money.
Correct.
And keep your real job until you can afford to not work whatever that job is that pays your bills.
And if you really want to be successful, keep your fucking word.
That too.
Keep your word. Yeah. And if your word is to yourself or to the industry or to the people who hired you or believed in you, keep your fucking word. And you'll find out if you keep your word that you gave to successful people, it will pay you back and you will become the next successful person. Yep. Give your word to 3 successful people. You're going to be the 4th.
Exactly.
Period.
100%.
That's an old saying, but I say it all the time. It was told to me and I never understood it until I was that guy. And
with everyone else, use an ironclad contract.
Correct.
Because I like my contracts.
Yeah. I don't use them enough, and I get
now.
fucked.
You're
but
stuck
that's
with
all right.
me.
Yeah. I can name a million times I should have used a real contract.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I've seen it happen too many times. So I am big on both. Let's just do both.
Yeah.
As a business, build it as an actual business.
Correct.
Stop making it a jobby.
A jobby.
It's not a jobby. It's an actual.
It's not a
business.
jobby to have a hobby. All right, listen, we're getting weird. So I like it. So listen, have a great day, Kristen. We're gonna I'm gonna talk to some other people about this. I think there's a lot of people out there who need to hear this. Yeah. And I would like to bring on some of these small people because I want to see their point of view. I want to see, it's easy for me to sit here and say that and point them and say this, that, and the other. But I want to hear their point of view of what it's like to work with a fucking demanding chef who's always up their ass.
Yeah, that'd be great. So if anybody out there listening knows anyone who would fit that, go ahead and tag them below in the comments. Make sure that you share the channel with them where they can like and subscribe and follow along with kind of the message of the show. I think they'll understand. None of these are like bashing. They're just meant to expose changes in the industry and how it affects the industry overall.
And if you don't understand it and you feel like you're being bashed,
well, then this isn't the show for you.
I'll join in and bash you. Let's make it right. No, but honestly, support our show, support what we're doing as well by subscribing or joining on to anything. Hit like, hit share, post a comment, and get involved with these conversations. We love to have them. And again, like she said, if you're out there and you want to have a conversation and you feel you have something worthy, hit us up and let us know, because that's what we're all about. Is we're here for the industry. We want to have conversations with everybody out there. So, ciao for now.
Ciao.